It's with a heavy heart that I got some very unfortunate news. The manga artist of one of my favorite series, Berserk, Kentaro Miura, has unfortunately passed away due to heart complications. He was in his 50s. I'm very, very sad, and I know a lot of other people are too. This is a pretty big tragedy as far as the manga and anime community. Berserk is beloved for a number of reasons, and I'm so sorry to his family and friends and those who knew him personally that they have to go through this troubling time, especially now. Berserk as a series is something that's very special to me, and I know it's very, very special to a lot of other people just because of how popular it was. Admittedly, I actually didn't get into Berserk until I was about a junior in college. My one friend was talking about the series to me, and I was so enthralled that I had spent all the money that I had at the time to buy as many physical volumes of it as I could. And from getting this first volume, I was absolutely hooked. I've never read a story as interesting or seen art that is as beautiful as it is dark and violent. There's so much beauty in what Berserk is that I don't think anyone is ever going to be able to fully replicate. Of course, Berserk is a series about violence and pain and loss, but it's also a story about love and peace and what it means to be a human, and trauma and what it takes to move on from that trauma. All disguised in one medieval revenge story. The influences of Berserk are apparent through so many different mediums. Most popular, of course, being video games. I mean, hell, Berserk inspired the fucking Soul series, which then, continued on a huge line as well. And there's other video game references to Berserk and the Berserk armor and different pieces. Dragon Slayer being another huge reference that we usually get. I start to wonder what's going to happen. I believe to this point there's been 40 volumes of Berserk, and I don't know if there was anything that was left over before Mr. Miura had unfortunately passed away. So I don't know if there's going to be any more. I would want to be curious to see how Berserk ends. I don't know if we're ever going to get that. I mean, it was always kind of a joke in the community of, oh, Berserk's never going to end, Berserk's never going to end. And now with this terribly tragic news that might be the truth. It may be that Berserk may not ever end. But I think what's important to recognize with the series and the author is what it is and not what it isn't. There might not be a satisfying conclusion. A good number of anime series and manga series that exist don't have a satisfying ending or even get an ending altogether. In fact, personally, I kind of find it rare when a series ends, or at least ends in a satisfying manner. Even if Berserk doesn't end, I personally am so grateful to what it did for me. It kind of came at this weird point in my life where I was having a lot going on, mentally and emotionally, and it kind of helped, having this kind of story and seeing these fantastic characters. It just kind of spoke to me in a way that helped me get through these troubling times that I was having. And of course, I understand that a lot of other people can relate to the content of Berserk. Even though it is violent, like I said, there's beauty in it, and there's hope and peace and happiness and camaraderie to be found. I mean, the main character, Guts, is such a great analogy for just a human experience of what it means to grow up and suffer through abuse, whether it's physical, emotional, sexual trauma, and also what it takes to heal and to trust people again. And even if people betray you, you can still move forward in your own way, even if it's dark, even if it's painful and sad, that you can still find happiness in people. And there's just something so amazing about that in this world of darkness and evil and hatred and demons and all kinds of fucked up shit that happens, there's still good in it. And good will, tirelessly, and I mean fucking tirelessly, fight to conquer evil. I'm curious to see what's going to happen. I would want to see a good ending to Berserk, but I just don't think that anyone can match this level of detail for Mr. Miura. I mean, his art style was just so incredible, especially in the later volumes, with how detailed and the way that he blends whites and blacks and grades. It almost feels like there's color in a weird kind of way. It's almost like there's color in these black and white pages. And honestly, I think Berserk works better as a series when it is in black and white. I mean, of course, I've seen the original anime series, I've watched the movies, and then the 2016 anime series, which was, not great. I don't like that adaptation very, very much. On a positive note, I know that the company that did Castlevania and other shows like Blood of Zeus is trying to get the rights to do an adaptation of Berserk. And if it's one company that I think could do a fucking amazing job at showing this story, it would be the company that did Castlevania. I actually just finished Castlevania Season 4, and I think it's phenomenal. So it just kind of gets me hyped, and I hope that they get the rights to do it. Because if there's one adaptation that I think could nail it, besides, of course, the manga itself, I would say it's the Castlevania folks. Again, I do just want to offer my most sincere apologies and sympathies to the family and friends of Kentaro Miura. I know how hard it is right now, and I just hope that you know that you're supported by so many people all over the world who were absolutely in love with the work that he did. And I can't imagine what that must feel like, but there's support out there, kind of like how this world is dark and scary. I know that our world is kind of dark and scary, but there's still good people out there, and there's a lot of love and support in these times of crisis. And I hope that his family and friends can heal. I wish I had more happy news to bring at this point. Sadly, I don't. But hey, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.